Shootings took place over a parking dispute, but the relatives of the victims believe it was a hate crime. The hashtag Chapel Hill shooting has been a top trend for 2 days now. Thousands of tweets from all over the world. One tweet here from Pakistan saying it's uplifting to see people from all races and ethnic backgrounds coming together to mourn the loss of humanity. And here's a picture posted by the Independent newspaper. Actually, just see, we can't bring you that if we can. No, it's not there. But anyway, they have been showing a vigil that's been held for the 3 victims. The families of the victims were there, and the funeral is going to be taking place shortly, in the next few minutes, in fact, and many people expected to attend. Let's talk to Rajini Vaidyanathan, who's in Chapel Hill for us. And Rajini, what is the latest from the scene?
Well, I should say, firstly, I'm actually in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's here at the Raleigh Mosque that the funeral and prayer service will get underway shortly. And hundreds of people are already arriving. They're gathering in the football field behind me. And it wasn't too long ago that there was a very sombre moment as the caskets of the 3 Muslim students, Dear Barakat, his wife of only 6 weeks, Yusor, and her younger sister, Razat, who all died on Tuesday evening after they were shot dead by their neighbour. So we're expecting to have a prayer service shortly, and also it's expected that the parents of some of the victims may also speak to the media in some kind of press conference around this funeral as well.
Rajini, what is the latest that police are saying about the investigation?
Well, no update from Chapel Hill Police Department today on the investigation, although, of course, as you mentioned yesterday, they did say that preliminary investigations indicated that this was, or the motive for Mr. Hicks's attack was an ongoing dispute about parking. But they did say that they would look into all leads, they would exhaust all leads. There are a lot of people here who do feel very strongly that this was a crime motivated by hate. I was at the vigil that you mentioned last night. Hundreds and hundreds of people had gathered at Chapel Hill at the university outside the Students' Union, people who knew them, but also others, not just students from the wider community, others I'd spoken to who travelled from other parts of the state to pay their respects. And I met someone from the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, who told me that this was the worst instance of a hate crime against Muslims that they'd ever seen in the United States. So they certainly believe, they're a civil rights and advocacy group, they certainly believe this was a hate crime. Others, including Mr. Hicks's wife, say that this wasn't motivated by any sort of Islamophobia and that it was a dispute over parking. But as I say, no updates from Chapel Hill Police Department on the motive behind this. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this was a very tight-knit community, people say, and that these 3 young victims who lost their lives were people who gave themselves to the community. They were very popular. I met so many of their friends last night who were just completely devastated and distraught that people who gave their lives, they volunteered for charities. Dear was planning to go to help Syrian refugees in Turkey, for example. He was a dental student. His wife was also planning to study dentistry as well. They were people who wanted to give to their community, and the community here has really shown that that is a huge loss following their deaths.
Rajini, thanks very much. Rajini Vaidyanathan there in Raleigh, North Carolina.